picked up a cinder block, threw it through the front window so that he could get into the apartment. We packed a suitcase and lived in a hotel for 3 weeks until the home was finished being built. While we were out, Kyle decided to sell my washer and dryer so that he would have cash to live on. When we finally were able to move into our new home, he showed up on our front doorstep at midnight, ringing our doorbell. Since then, he found his way back into my house. I'm so sick and tired. Every time I try and cut that cord, he shows back up at home, so it gets a little old.
He hopes you die. He steals your stuff and sells it. He calls you names. He threatens you with a hammer. You put him in jail and then bail him out. What's your career?
I'm a retired policeman.
Did you take excuses from people that you arrested?
No. If the things that happened in my home and I was working and I was on the scene, I would be locking somebody up because the situation was too dangerous.
But when you threaten someone with a deadly weapon, that's serious, right?
Very serious.
You threatened your wife with a deadly weapon.
Yes, he did.
He gets in your apartment and you go to a hotel. He sells what, the washer, the dryer, the refrigerator. He sells the stuff in your apartment.
That's correct.
That's theft.
Yes.
We'll talk about him in a minute, but you have to help me understand what it is that's driving you to continue to do this.
I think on my part, I think it's hoping that he will learn to be productive, learn to get a job and hold the job.
And what are you doing to teach that?
Probably nothing.
Well, you're doing his laundry, you're paying his bills, you're giving him a place to live.
Yes.
Hell, I'd do that. That's a good deal. Look, common sense, this common sense here. This isn't helping him, is it?
No. When he was younger, he could go out there and live on his own. Now he can't. I don't know what happened over the years. Most people learn respect and responsibility as they get older. He seemed to have lost that.
Is it possible you've crippled him by enabling him and not requiring him to grow up?
Yes, I believe so. I believe that I gave him too much. I always, whatever he asked for, I always gave him. Maybe because I didn't have my life when I grew up that way. So I don't want him to want.
But now he's bleeding you dry.
Definitely, very much.
And, yeah, I related this because I've got a son this age. Robin and I have raised 2 boys. The one on the left is the age of your son. I couldn't keep him in the house if I held a gun on him. It's not natural. You understand, at 31, it's not natural. You have a good-looking, intelligent young man for a son. He's very smart, right?
Very smart.
He went to nursing school?
Yes, he did. Because
And what did you do while he was in nursing school?
I sat in the parking lot to make sure he stayed in school.
Every day?
Every day.
All day?
All day, 8 hours a day, read books.
Despite Kyle's being lazy and being a mooch, he does have a nursing degree, only because his father and I rode him every step of the way.
I drove him to school every day, and I sat in the parking lot where I can see the front door and the rear door to make sure he didn't leave. I went there for 9 months. I should have got a degree myself because I was there every day.
Kyle was very good at what he did when he was a nurse, but unfortunately, he always winds up taking the wrong path and undermining himself.
I did get in a little bit of trouble with my nursing license.
Kyle's suspension was due to the fact that he got locked up for stealing drugs from one of the nursing facilities. But all those charges were dropped. But then he wound up getting a drunk driving, and he was put on suspension for not reporting the drunk driving to the nursing board and for all of the drugs. When we moved to the state of Texas, Texas wouldn't accept his nursing license because of the fact that he was on probation. Because of that, Kyle blames us, saying we should have stayed in the state of Florida until his license could be cleared again.
There was no reason for them to move. They could have waited 6 more months. If I could work as a nurse right now, the fact that they've had me arrested so many times for violence, those charges would definitely affect my license. They didn't care then, they don't care now.
I'm so sick and tired of listening to Kyle's excuses. At this point in life, move on.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.